morning and welcome to the Wonderland Kitchen. I am so excited, you guys, to share with you what I have been loving having for breakfast. I have this radical new thing I've been having in the morning that my body and everything, I've just been loving it. It's so simple and easy and really takes the thought process out of what should I have for breakfast today, because this is just so good and so simple. And the best part about it is that it can be two ways. You can either have it when you have the time, which is definitely ideal to sit down at the table and enjoy your breakfast. You can have it in a bowl, or you can take it to go in a to-go cup and kind of drink it as a smoothie like you would coffee in like a coffee to-go mug, since so many of us are on the go with breakfast more so than any other meal, and taking it mobile is really great. So what this is, let me tell you, apple pie in a bowl. It's so amazing, it's so healing, and it's so great. And especially at this time of year, apples are in season, which is great to really eat with the seasons and eat locally is as much as possible is amazing for our bodies. But also, having a green smoothie or having something cold in the morning, like while that's great, may not sound great to your body, and then it's not great anymore. So forcing yourself to do something that doesn't sound amazing to you in the morning isn't great ever. So this recipe is really awesome. You only need a couple of things, like I said. So apple, whatever kind of apple you like. This one I got at the farmer's market, I think, and it's really amazing. Or green apples are kind of my favorite to do in this recipe because we're going to be stewing them. And green apples are actually the lowest in sugar, so if you're concerned about sugar, that's a great thing, green apples. So next ingredient is sea salt. It really balances out the sweetness. Cinnamon, if you like cinnamon. And coconut butter, which is like my crack. I freaking love this stuff. It's amazing. It's so good. Have it in your kitchen because it's amazing and healing and super easy to digest. So that's a great thing to have around. So with this recipe, we're actually going to be stewing the apples, which is very new to me. I had never stewed apples before. I am really lucky and fortunate. One of my friends is in school studying to be a Ayurvedic doctor, Ayurvedic practitioner, and she did a session with me about my dosha and about my body type. And the premise of Ayurveda is that we're all different and different things work best for each of us, which is just so amazing that there's a science that proves that, because that just seems so obvious. But anyways, for me, I love apples. They're amazing. I eat them all the time. They're one of my like top few favorite fruits. I freaking love the things. But she was saying that actually for my constitution, having them stewed would be better for me, better for my digestion. And I'd never stewed things before, but it's so simple. So all you do is you cut up the apple into little pieces or slices, and you just toss it into, I already did this, magic of TV. I put it into a saucepan like this, and you just kind of cover it with water, maybe like 1/4 of a cup. And you'll put it in there with your cinnamon or nutmeg or pumpkin pie spice or whatever you like to use. Putting the spices in while you're cooking it is really great because it actually releases more of the flavor and the benefits from it, which is really awesome. So you'll put your apples into the pot and let them stew for maybe about 15 minutes or so. And I usually do this while I'm getting ready in the morning, and I'll have that on stewing, and then I'll get ready and then come back and they'll be warm and ready. So then the next thing you do, if you do have time to sit down and have the meal, is you will grab a bowl, toss your apples just right from the saucepan into the bowl, and top it with a huge scoopful of coconut butter. So you'll just take a spoon and grab it out and toss it over the top. And the nice thing about it is this will probably be solid depending on where you live, but if you put the coconut butter all over the warm apples, it will melt and be like really frosting like, so it's really amazing. And then you can just have fun with the toppings, get kind of crazy with it. Some things I like to do, I like to use ground flaxseed, or it kind of gives it that like cookie texture, or hemp seeds, or some pecans or nuts are really nice. One of my favorite things that will really make it taste the best is if you use almond flour, ground almond flour, and toss that over the top, kind of stir it in. It makes this like crunchy pie coating over the top, and it's delicious. And then a little sea salt on top to kind of balance out the sweetness, and it's amazing and warming and so good. And one thing I want to mention about that, if you are sitting down and eating it and have time, but it's a little too hot, one thing I really like to do is take just like a tablespoon or so of almond milk, and homemade or from the store, whatever you like, that's been in the fridge, and it cools it off really nicely so you can eat it right away, and it's just delicious and so good. So that's option one. And option two, I'm actually going to walk you through, and that's if you're on the go. If you're going quickly in the morning but you still want to have this type of breakfast, you still can. It's amazing, and I'm going to show you how. So all you need is this little amazing contraption, the Vitamix. And all you'll do is you'll literally just take the apples that you've been stewing, you can see the steam coming off of them, with the water they've been stewing in, and just toss that into the Vitamix. I literally came up with this version of the recipe with the Vitamix because one day I was starting to make this, but then I had to run out quickly and I didn't have time to sit and eat it, so I tossed it in a to-go cup and I did this. So you take that, maybe add a little bit more cinnamon, and then you'll take a couple huge scoopfuls of coconut butter, really get a lot out of here. It will melt and make this like creamy goodness of kind of this warm milkshake. Once you blend this, it'll be like a warm apple cider milkshake, and you'll just toss it in like a coffee to-go cup and just sip it throughout the day. It's amazing and warming and really starts your day off right and will really keep you full and sustained. So enjoy this recipe. Let me know what you think. And I will see you soon. If you want more recipe videos, let me know. Subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the blog, and I will see you guys soon.